Welcome to my Greatest Imagination podcast. Co-host Josh Lamar Morse III. My guest Geoffrey D. Calhoun. He is an American screenwriter, author, narrator. He is known for writing the guide for every screenwriter 2019 and for co-writing various films. And today's topic is, what are the challenges as a screenwriter? And,
Thanks for having me on, Josh. I appreciate it.
yeah, thank you for coming on. And my first question for you is, where are you based out of? City, town,
Yeah,
country?
I'm in the Detroit, Michigan area,
Great.
Metro Detroit area.
And my next question for you is, what are the challenges as a screenwriter?
Oh my God, there are like so many. it's, I would say the biggest challenge for any screenwriter out there is getting their work seen, getting their work made. I mean, there's hundreds of thousands of screenwriters out there, but you only see so many movies are made a year. And I'd say that was the biggest thing is getting your stuff read, getting your stuff made. So exposure is a big deal for screenwriters.
Right. In the near future, that's what I plan on doing and being a movie producer. So this is an honor and a privilege.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I'm glad to talk about it. I mean, being a screenwriter is it's a passion, but it's not just an art, it's a craft. So it's something that you have to really practice at. You have to really dedicate your life to it and really become the best that you can at it, and then find what's unique about you that you bring to screenwriting. And that's really what can get yourself out there and kind of separate you from the pack.
Right, right. My next question is, tell me and listeners about your profession and what you love about it.
You know what I love is the challenge of it. I sit down in front of a blank screen and I have to take that and create a compelling story or adventure that will draw an audience in and put them on almost like an emotional journey. But it starts out with a blank screen, and I love that. I love the challenge of it. But it's so satisfying being able to take that on and create something that a producer reads it and they'll say to me like I was moved to tears 3 times. I mean, that to me is it fills me with joy.
Great, great. My next question, as a screenwriter, what do you do and go to write? Example, do you go stay in a hotel and write? Do you write immediately or does it take you 30 minutes?
Oh, for me it's like a job. I sit down for 8 hours and I hit the keys, and if I get down 20 or 30 pages, it's a good day. If I get down 8 pages, it's an okay day. But as long as you're sitting down and really using discipline to make it happen. When I first started out, I would write everywhere. I would, write. If I had to go to like the doctor's office, I'd have a laptop and I'd be writing, and waiting for an exam. Or if I had to go anywhere, I would bring my laptop with me. I was writing all of the time, and that was as I was really starting to kind of enjoy the craft. But I'm at the level now to where like I have to sit in the office. I have a special office, and I play music that's a specific type of playlist so that I can kind of get my head in the space and really make it happen.
Right. Good answer. Next question. Tell me and listeners about the guide for every screenwriter.
Oh, yeah, that's my book. It's a reference guide on screenwriting. So it can teach you if you've never written before. It can walk you through the entire practice of screenwriting, and it's a quick read. You can read it in just a few hours, and by the time you're done with it, you'll understand how to write a screenplay. Initially, I created this book because I was asked to teach screenwriting in Ghana, Africa. So I was going to have to fly down to Ghana and teach them like a screenwriting intensive, but I would only have like 2 weeks. So I wanted to create my own course because they didn't have a course at the film school. So I took everything that I knew on screenwriting and I put it into this course. And I was getting ready to fly down there, but it fell through. So I had all of this material, and I thought, I could probably make a book out of this. And I did, and I've released it, and it's been a hit. It was just listed as one of the best screenwriting books of all time on the Book Authority. I actually hit #1, so it's
Congratulations.
pretty exciting. Yeah, thank you.
Yes, I gonna support you on that so I can learn. I'm really good at like short stories. I haven't written like scripts yet.
Yeah. Well, short stories are a great practice before you get into writing a feature screenplay or even a short script, because writing a short story forces you to focus on drama and conflict, and you have to be able to hit all of the story beats within a short period, within a limited page count, which actually is quite challenging. So if you can do that, then and you can do it successfully, then I would have no fears about diving into writing a 90-page screenplay.
Okay. Right. Next question. What lead you to want to be a filmmaker? What led
Oh,
you?
what I mean. Well, I was actually it was actually a bet. A friend of mine was a editor on a local TV show called Bedbugs. It was a kids show, and he wanted to get into screenwriting because he was an editor. He did some producing, so he had bet a bunch of us of like who could write a better screenplay, and I took on the bet. Nobody else did, but I ended up really falling in love with the process. So it was quite accidental. I never wanted to be a writer. I never thought I'd be a writer, but once I got into it, I was like, oh man, this is, I can't dance, I can't play music, I can't sing, I can't paint, but damn it, I can write you a screenplay. So like I found my voice as an artist through this craft. And to me, it's quite a blessing.
Yes, it is. Next question. Tell me and listeners about your success from the bestsellers.
Um, so really, if you're an indie publisher like myself, I'm self-published. I did the rounds with the book and I sent it everywhere. I sent it to all kinds of publishers out there. And you want to make sure that you don't fall for the predatory publishers, which they're prevalent out there. They'll take desperate indie publishers and they'll publish your book for you, but then you'll get like nothing and they'll make a ton of bank on it. So you have to be real careful for that. So I avoided that. I went to legitimate publishers, got some interest. Nothing really happened with it. One publisher said to me, I don't see the market for this book. And I said, well, I am the market for this book. I think if I want to buy this book, and I'm not just saying that because I wrote it, like everything I need is in this, then there is a market for it. And they didn't believe me. I said, well, now I have to do it. Now I have to prove you wrong. So I used my peers. I used social media. I used all of my network to really spread the word about the book, and it's sold thousands of copies. So it's I'm just very thankful. But that's how you do it. You really network. You kind of build your brand, get it out there, and make something that provides value. I mean, right now my book is listed on the recommended reading list at UCLA. I mean, it's just like there's some colleges that teach the book. So it's getting there. It hasn't gotten to the point to where I want it to be yet, but it is definitely far surpassed where I thought it could go. So it's kind of exciting.
Right. Great. Last question. Where can the listeners find your information and you online?
Oh yeah, that's awesome. All right, so you can go to thesuccessfulscreenwriter.com. That's my website. It's got all of my stuff. I have a podcast, the Successful Screenwriter Podcast. I've got over 100 episodes out where I interview other screenwriting gurus and teachers, instructors like myself. I also interview Hollywood screenwriters that have stuff on Netflix and Paramount and in the theaters. I interview indie people and I bring them all together on my show so that you can learn about the screenwriting process and how to find success. That's the Successful Screenwriter Podcast. And then on my website, if you go in there, we have a free membership. You can get access to videos and blogs and links. So there's all kinds of great stuff. Free screenplays that you can download of like big Hollywood films. So I have all kinds of stuff available on my website there.
Great. I'm going to have to get your podcast so I can listen to it and learn from you in the
Awesome.
morning time.
Sounds good.
Thank you, Geoffrey, for your
All
time.
right.
And I would like to have you on again down the road.
Yeah, sounds good, Josh.
Yes, great. In closing, thank you listeners for tuning in at my Greatest Imagination podcast.
Awesome.